In the misty legends and folk tales of Ireland, there exists a dread figure known as the Banshee, a supernatural harbinger of death whose unearthly wails herald the imminent demise of a family member. This eerie spirit, deeply rooted in Celtic folklore, has captivated the imagination of storytellers and artists for centuries, conjuring a haunting miasma of fear and superstition, and whispering of mysteries beyond the veil of mortal existence. In this short documentary about banshees, we'll examine the origins and cultural significance of this otherworldly entity. We will uncover the various interpretations and representations of the banshee throughout history, from Dark Ages texts to modern literature and popular culture. Bolster your courage, for we are about to embark on a journey that will chill your bones and reveal glimpses of the world beyond mortal ken. Banshees are supernatural beings from Irish mythology that are believed to foretell the death of a family member through their piercing, mournful cries. These otherworldly wraiths are often depicted as ghostly women. The word banshee is derived from the Irish Gaelic for woman, ban, and she, meaning fairy, or spirit of the mounds. In Celtic mythology, fairies were thought to inhabit hills and mounds that were entrances to the underworld. Therefore, a full translation of the word is woman of the fairy mounds. In Irish folklore, the banshee is traditionally associated with specific families, particularly those of ancient Irish descent or those with a connection to the old Gaelic nobility, and her wails are said to be a lament for the impending loss of a family member. These wails, described as heart-wrenching and soul-piercing, were believed to be heard only by those with the gift, or curse, of second sight, or by members of the family for whom she mourned. It was believed that certain families had their own designated banshee, who would keep a watchful vigil over the family's affairs and herald the passing of its members. Accounts of banshee sightings and encounters vary, but they often share common elements. Some describe the banshee as a beautiful, otherworldly woman with long flowing hair and dressed in white or green, while others depict her as an aged, wizened crone with a haunting skeletal visage. Regardless of her appearance, her wails were said to be unmistakable, an ethereal keening lament that chilled the blood and foretold the impending loss of a loved one. The banshee has inspired writers throughout the centuries, finding its way into the works of some of Ireland's most celebrated authors and poets. From medieval manuscripts to modern literature, the banshee's wail haunts the literary landscape. Banshees first begin appearing in the written record in poems of the 8th century, inspired by the practice of keening. Keening is a form of mourning ritual in which women would sing mournful songs to lament the passing of the deceased at their funeral. These women were professional performers, paid for their services, but they were believed by the people of the time to be doomed to exist in the afterlife as banshees, forever keening their laments for those about to pass on to the next life. Traces of the banshee's ethereal presence can also be found in the works of renowned Irish poets and writers, such as W.B. Yeats and James Joyce. William Butler Yeats was deeply immersed in Irish folklore and mythology, often writing of fairies and the other world. In Yeats' poem, The Hosting of the She, he evokes the imagery of the banshee's mournful cries with the she-goddess Niamh, calling come away, and urging those who witness the host to empty your heart of its mortal dream. Likewise, Joyce's short story The Dead, from his celebrated collection Dubliners, features themes and references that evoke legends of the banshee, adding to the tale's atmosphere of melancholy and mortality. Another work from the early 20th century that features banshees is the 1903 novel, Darby O'Gill and the Good People, by Hermione Templeton Kavanagh. This is a collection of stories steeped in Celtic folklore which features one called The Banshee's Comb. These literary works not only showcase the enduring presence of the banshee in Irish culture but also serve as a testament to the rich heritage of folklore and mythology that has shaped the country's artistic and literary traditions. While the banshee's roots are firmly entrenched in the ancient myths and legends of Ireland, she finds new life in modern global media. From chilling musical compositions to the silver screen and video games, the banshee continues to captivate audiences with her eerie keening. One of the most striking and unusual interpretations of the legend comes from the avant-garde American composer Henry Cowell. His 1925 piano composition, The Banshee, is a haunting and dissonant work that vividly captures the otherworldly cries of the mythical harbinger of death. The piece builds in intensity, with clusters of jarring notes and percussive effects evoking the banshee's mournful lament. At times unsettling, the banshee stands as a potent musical embodiment of the Irish folk figure, transporting listeners into a realm where the boundaries between the living and the dead blur. Similarly, the banshee has made her presence felt in popular cinema, often serving as a chilling plot device or a terrifying antagonist. The banshee makes a memorable cameo in the beloved 1959 Disney live-action film, Darby O'Gill and the Little People. In this whimsical tale full of fairies and leprechauns, the aged caretaker Darby O'Gill, played by Albert Sharp, encounters the frightening banshee while trying to rescue his daughter, Katie. Katie has fallen into a fever at the bottom of a cliff, and the banshee comes for her, so Darby and his friend, played by Sean Connery, rush to save her before the banshee destroys her. The film depicts the banshee as a hooded spectre, letting out a bone-chilling wail. This brief but impactful appearance injects a sense of supernatural dread into the otherwise light-hearted film. Her presence serves as a stark reminder of the darker, more ominous aspects of Irish myth still lurking amid the charming leprechauns and fairies. Disney's rendition highlights the banshee's enduring status as one of the most feared figures in Celtic legend. Video games have also embraced the banshee's haunting allure, incorporating her into various narratives and settings. In the popular Warcraft franchise, banshees are ghostly undead entities, the spirits of murdered night elf women that can unleash devastating sonic attacks on their foes. Similarly, the Mass Effect series features banshees as terrifying enemies born of Reaper-indoctrinated Ardot-Yakshi. The Ardot-Yakshi are powerful and dangerous mutant Asari, with vampiric urges that drive them to drain the life force from romantic partners. Beyond these specific examples, the banshee's influence can be seen in many other works of fiction, serving as a potent reminder of mortality. Her keening cries echo throughout the worlds of art and storytelling, reminding us of the power of myth and folklore to captivate and terrify. The banshee, with her hair-raising wails and spectral presence, looms large in the collective psyche of Ireland and the broader Celtic cultural tradition. From her roots in Irish folklore to her contemporary manifestations in literature, film, and popular media, this otherworldly spirit fascinates and unnerves audiences in equal measure. Whether viewed as a harbinger of death or a symbol of the mysteries that lie beyond our mortal span, the banshee serves as a prime example of the enduring power of folklore and the morbid human fascination with what lies beyond the grave. Her haunting cries keen down the ages, forever reminding us of the fragility of life and its inevitable end. As we wrap up this exploration of the banshee, her eerie presence lingers just beyond the shadows. Perhaps, on some quiet eve, when the worlds of the living and the dead overlap, you may catch the distant wails of the banshee and shudder just a little, knowing that somewhere nearby, someone's time has run out.